Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I like to say call halal. That is to say all praises to the Most High God Yahweh, who's only begotten Son Yahweh Shai, who the Lord innately calls Jesus Christ. Right? So it's the soldier guy Sean coming at y'all with another sit down, and Lord willing, I hope it edifies and feeds the flock. Right? So this sit down, as you can see by the title, is taking affliction cheerfully. Right? Whenever we're going through struggles, whenever we're going through anything that pushes us or tests our limits or our capabilities, we shouldn't fold under pressure. We shouldn't be cursing the Most High because things aren't going our way. We shouldn't be doing any of those things. Instead, we should take it cheerfully and realize that this is a character building moment, right? So whenever affliction comes to us, it's not to destroy us, it's not for our destruction, it's for our chastisement, it's to build us up, it's for our learning experience, right? Because as scripture says, right, in 2nd Ezra 7 and 9, you can't inherit a kingdom if you haven't been through anything, right? So when you're going through affliction, realize that that's you being through something so you can inherit that kingdom. So I'm just going to get a few precepts just to make a stronger claim to that. So this is the book of Sirach, chapter 4, chapter 2, verse 4. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully. Take whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. Be patient. Don't be quick to curse the Most High. Don't be like, oh, the Most High has forsaken me. The Most High have done this to me, right? Don't be quick to say that. Instead, be patient. Examine the situation, right? Take it cheerfully, because we know the Most High can't do no evil. So when the Most High brings something upon you, right, you examine the situation. Well, what does the Most High want me to take from this, right? There's always something that the Most High wants you to take from it. Affliction for Israel has never been to destroy us. Affliction for Israel has always been to punish us or to set us in the right frame of mind. So when you're being afflicted, you got to ask yourself, well, what am I doing wrong? What is the Most High chastising me for? Or what does the Most High want me to learn from this, right? So brothers got to be patient. That's how we figure things out. You can't just rush into saying all these curses or be quick to say anything when you haven't examined the situation, right? So we got to take affliction cheerfully, and we got to examine the situation that we're in when we're brought to a lower state, right? We got to be sober-minded in those things, right? Verse 5, for gold is tried in the furnace, in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity, right? So we're, Lord willing, we I should hope we all want to be acceptable men. So that's how we're tried. We're brought to a lower state, and we're the Most High sees how we manage in that lower state, how we keep going in that lower state, right? Are you going to strive onto the truth? Are you going to strive for the truth unto death, no matter what's going on? Not just when you're like in the highest states or anything like that. Are you going to strive onto the truth, even when you're brought to a lower state, even when things are going in your way? Because people can talk, but if you haven't been through anything, you can't really advise anybody, or you can't really say, oh yeah, oh, if this was going on, I would do such and such. Well, the Most High is going to put you in that situation to see if you actually are a man of your words, right? So don't be quick to say that. And acceptable men are tried in the fire of adversity, right? If you want to be an acceptable man, right, and affliction comes to you, now isn't the time to say, oh man, no, why is the Most High doing this to me, man? I can't do this. Why is the Most High doing this? Why is he trying to me, man? The Most High don't love me no more. No, he's trying to make you an acceptable man in the furnace of adversity, right? So we should take it cheerfully. We should know that the Most High is looking at us to be somebody if he's trying to make us acceptable men, right? So brothers got to realize that it's not for our destruction, it's for our betterment, it's for our improvement, right? Right, believe in him and he will help thee. Order thy way aright and trust in him, right? So when you're going through adversity, don't say the Most High has forsaken them. Believe in him. He can still deliver you out of this, and he will still deliver you out of this. You just got to believe in him and know that he hasn't forsaken you, right? He hasn't. When you're going through adversity, that doesn't mean that the Most High is forsaking you. That means that the Most High is trying. That means that the Most High is trying to make you acceptable in the fire of adversity, right? So just gonna get a couple more precepts to make that same point, right? So this is the book of Psalms, chapter 34, verse 19. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivereth him out of them all. So when brothers are going through affliction, it's not for your destruction, because we just heard that many are the afflictions of the righteous, right? Just because you're righteous doesn't mean you're going to be exempt from affliction, right? I would even venture to say that because you're righteous, because you've been through affliction and you stood stiffly for the Most High, right? I would venture to say that that would be a fruit of righteousness, right? You've been through affliction and you stood stiffly for it. So many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Most High would deliver them all. So you just gotta have faith in the Most High and not be quick to condemn the Most High or to curse the Most High for putting you in that low estate, right? So brothers gotta take affliction carefully and realize it's not for our destruction, it's for our betterment, because the Most High will deliver us out of them, right? Like Psalms just said. So just gonna read it one more time. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 34, verse 19. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord will deliver him out of them all. So the Lord will do that. Not nobody else, not no man's going to deliver you out of those afflictions. But when you're in affliction, you got to remember that's, especially when you're in affliction, those are the times where you have to remember to call upon the name of the Most High, to have faith in him, to go even harder when you're in affliction, because that's what the Most High is looking for. He's looking to see, like, you're in the fourth quarter, things are looking bad for you, everything is against you. Are you going to just give up, or are you going to play 110%? Are you going to play your heart out, right? So that's what the Most High is looking for, and that's what we have to keep in mind when we're in affliction, right? We have to take it cheerfully, and we have to go hard. We have to be patient when we're in affliction. We have to be tried. We have to expect to be tried when we're in the truth, right? As Sirach 2 says, if you come to serve the Most High, prepare your heart for temptation, right? We have to be tried. It's not going to be a smooth walk. So you got to realize that if you're being tried, then you're taking the right steps. You're in the right walk of frame in this truth, right? You're going the right way. You're going the right direction. If you're being tried, if you're being afflicted, but you got to remember that the Most High would deliver you out of them all, because we're going to have many afflictions. It's not just going to be a little thing and then it's going to be smooth sailing after that. No, there's going to be many afflictions that's going to come at many times, many unexpected times, and we have to always be vigilant, and we have to always be prepared to call upon the name of the Most High and endure those afflictions, right? Because He will deliver us out of them. So I'm going to go back to Sirach really quick, right? This is the book of Sirach, chapter 11, verse 25. In the day of prosperity, there's a forgetfulness of affliction. In the day of affliction, there's no more remembrance of prosperity. So when we're brought to that low state, that goes back to what I was saying earlier. When we're brought to that low state, we shouldn't be so quick to curse the Most High, or to condemn the Most High for putting us in a situation, because you got to remember, he gave you some highs and lows. You're gonna have some highs and lows in this truth. So don't forget the highs when you're in the lows, and don't forget the lows when you're in the highs, because the Most High is a God of balance. So it's not always going to be ha jokes and all of that. It's going to be some affliction. It's going to be some pain. It's going to be some crying. It's going to be some tears that's shed, right? But you can't remember the laughs that you had. Also, you can't remember the lamb that you ate with your brother. You can't forget all those things, right? You can't forget those moments when you're in affliction, right? You can't be so quick to just condemn the Most High when He's giving you some good times in the truth also. So when you're having those bad times, remember those good times also, because they may be few and without, but they did happen. So you got to remember the Most High is a balanced God. He's not just going to give you much of one thing and not the other. So it's going to be a balanced walk in truth. He's going to make you a balanced man, an acceptable man in the furnace, right? So brothers got to remember that also. I'm gonna get another precept really quick. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 8, verse 5. Thou also, so like, thou shalt also consider in thine heart that a good man chasteneth his son, so the Lord chasteneth thee. So we call the Most High the just God, the merciful God, the good God. All these attributes relating back to being a good and merciful and just God, right? So if the attributes of a good father is chastening your son, how much more the Most High, right? So when you're being chastened, it's not because the Most High hates you. It's not because He doesn't love you anymore. It's because He's being a good father and correcting your mistakes. He doesn't want you to go off. So I personally, when I'm being afflicted and I see scripture like this, and I'm like, oh snap, the Most High really does love me. If He cares, He actually does care enough to be like, hey, you going the wrong way. Like, open rebuke is better than secret love, right? So the Most High loves you enough to rebuke you. If He didn't love you, then you would be if He didn't rebuke you, Salakia, then you would be a bastard unto Him. Like like Hebrews, I believe it's the 12th chapter says, right? If he doesn't chastise you, then you're a bastard. So the Most High loves you enough to rebuke you. So when you're being through affliction, he's rebuking an action you made. He's rebuking a statement that you made, right? So don't be like, oh, the Most High doesn't love me anymore. He's correcting a statement. He's correcting like if you do like play basketball, or if you do martial arts anyway, like they correct your posture, right, by having you do certain stances for hour holding it. It hurts like hell, but it's correcting the stances so you won't make those mistakes anymore. It hurts. That affliction is gonna hurt, but it's to correct that behavior that you have. So when you're being rebuked or when you're being afflicted by the Most High, it's to correct a certain behavior trait that you have. So you shouldn't be so quick to pounce on the Most High or curse him or do anything of that nature, because he's correcting you. He's correcting the behavior or a certain thing that you did so you won't do it again. And personally, you should be honored that the Most High is even looking at you in that way to correct any movements that we're making, right? So we shouldn't be condemning it. We should take it cheerfully, because that's the Most High loving us. That's how Israel as a nation, that's how we've been taught to show love, right? According to the Bible. That's how we've been taught to show love, according to the Bible, by the hand of the Most High. So if the Most High taught us that that's what love is, then why wouldn't he love us that way? So people would have a misconception that the Most High is never going to afflict us if he loves us. No, that's not the case. The prophets were afflicted. He told the prophets not to eat, not to fast. They were afflicted by things of that nature. And he was dealing with the prophets. He was sending his angels to them to give them the word to speak unto the people. They were highly favored men in the sight of the Most High, but they were still afflicted. So no matter how high up you are, or no matter how much you think you know, the Most High is always gonna afflict you if the situation calls for it. So brothers shouldn't be quick to forget the Most High, or brothers shouldn't be quick to condemn the Most High when that affliction happens, right? We tell each other the truth isn't easy. The truth isn't for the weak of heart. But when the moments that prove whether you're strong or weak come, we start to forget all that stuff that we just said leading up to it about how the truth isn't for the weak of heart. So we got to remember those words that we said in that moment, because the Most High is listening. He's gonna give an idle word, right? So no idle word shall go unpunished, right? So you're gonna have to give an account of those words. So when that situation comes, you better remember those words that you said and live by them, right? So I'm just gonna get a few other precepts. This is the book is 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 5. But watch thou in all things, endure affliction, do the work of an evangelist, make full proof of thy ministry. So when all those things are going on, you're supposed to stay vigilant, right? Nothing is supposed to get in the way. It says strive for the truth unto death. So when these afflictions are going on, it's not time for you to look right and look like, oh man, I should be doing that instead. I could be doing that instead I'm being afflicted. Nah, it's time for you to knuckle down. It's time for you to buckle up and stay in the pocket. It's time for you to stay there and like be 110%, right? That's what the Most High is calling on you when you're being afflicted in that time, right? It's time for you to knuckle down and do what you got to do and make full proof of your ministry, right? That's what it says. Make full proof of your ministry. Don't waste your potential. It's time for you to live up to your potential in that time and moment, right? When you're being afflicted, it's time for you to realize that the Most High is expecting something of me. He's trying to make me acceptable. So I got to go 110% when I'm being afflicted. I got to do what I got to do, stay in the pocket and work and make full proof of your ministry and do 110% of the work and strive for the truth unto death, right? So what else is there? And another thing too, right? So brothers, affliction is also a way to grow in the truth, right? Affliction is also a way to grow in the truth. Brothers want wisdom, not realizing that what brothers had to go through to get that wisdom, right? So they think wisdom just comes naturally, or wisdom is just supposed to be given to you without you having to work for it. That's not the case. The Most High has never dealt with anybody like that did. That he just gave you wisdom without you having to be tried, or without you having to do anything for that wisdom, right? So let's just get a few precepts of that real quick. So when affliction is also a way to grow your soul. So when you're going through affliction, you shouldn't be like, oh man, the Most High doesn't love me anymore. Nah, he's looking for growth. He's trying to make you into something. He's trying to build depth into your character, right? As you give you wisdom. So when brothers are speaking to you and they're like, oh, I would do this, I would advise you to do this if this happened, right? They went through something and they're giving you advice. They've been through affliction and they've experienced affliction, right? So they got wisdom from that affliction. They got wisdom through what they went through, and the Most High directed their steps so they could look back at it and have and give that wisdom to the people that are coming after them, right? So affliction grows and gives you wisdom, right? So we shouldn't look at affliction and be like, oh, the Most High doesn't love me anymore. He's looking for you to grow. He's looking for you to be somebody, give you wisdom, right? So, and this is the book of Proverbs, chapter. That's not what I want. Let's just go to Sirach. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 4. Verse, let's start at verse 16. Verse 16, if a man commit himself unto her, the her natural choice should mean wisdom, right? Which, I just said wisdom can come from affliction too, right? From you going through affliction, experiencing that affliction, and growing from it, and getting that wisdom and experience from it, right? So, if a man commit himself unto her, he shall inherit her, and his generation shall hold her in possession, right? Verse 17, for at first she will walk him by crooked ways, right? If you're first coming into the truth, if you're first hearkening on to wisdom, right? She will walk you by crooked ways. It's not going to be a straight path. It's not going to be an easy walk, right? Like, me personally, I would liken it on to like when you're driving at night and there's swerves in the road, like it's like an S type shape, right? I would liken it onto that because it's not easy. You're gonna have to swerve and you're gonna have to hold on for dear life when you're doing those swerves, right? That's how wisdom is, right? So when you're first coming on to wisdom, you're gonna have to hold on for dear life. She will walk you by crooked ways. It's not gonna be easy, right? So when you're first coming in, brother's gonna have to be mindful of that. It's not gonna be easy. It's not gonna be sweet, right? So for at first, she will walk him by crooked ways, and bring fear and dread upon him, and torment him with discipline, and torment you with discipline, right? She will bring fear and dread upon you. So when you're coming into it, that sounds like affliction, right? She will torment you with fear and dread and bring discipline upon you. She will do all these things to you at first, right? She will test you when you're going through affliction. That's that torment and discipline. That's that wisdom trying to teach you, trying to get into your heart. But you have to be open to it. You have to take it cheerfully, right? Because there's a learning experience in everything, right? So you have to take that torment and discipline. You can't just walk away from when that affliction is happening to you. You can't. That's not the time for you to walk away from it, right? That's the time for you to knuckle down and really hearken on to wisdom and really clinch up to wisdom and not let her go doing that, right? So, and torment him with her discipline until she may trust his soul, right? So wisdom is doing that to you to test you. All right, how much can this dude take? All right, how much until he leaves? When is enough? Like, is he just like some of the? Because we always liken wisdom onto women, right? So we gotta get in that mindset. Like, what do women do? They like to test people. How much will this man take? Is he like all the other? Is he like the rest? Will he leave when the going gets tough, or is he going to stay down and like get through harsher with me, right? Wisdom's trying to figure that out. That's why she's testing you. That's why she's taking you by those crooked paths first and not the straight one. She's trying to see how much you can take, or are you gonna leave when the going gets tough? She's trying to see like, will you knuckle down and stay in this truth no matter what? Like, again, strive for the truth unto death. She's trying to see if you're gonna do that, right? If you're gonna do that, then she's gonna put you through those things to see, all right, yeah, he's about it. He's not gonna leave when the going gets tough, because he didn't leave when I took him by those crooked paths, when I tormented him and all those things. He didn't leave. All right, so cool. I know he's about what he says he's about, right? So, and torment him with her discipline until she may trust his soul and try him by her laws, right? Then will she return the straight way unto him and comfort him and shew him her secrets. That's when wisdom is going to do that to you. After she's taken you by that ride, after she's taken you through those crooked paths to see what you're about, and saw that you stayed and you about what you say you about, then she will come and comfort you. Then she will turn you the straight path. Then she will give you that wisdom, that enlightenment, right? That knowledge of the laws, statutes, and commandments, and how to govern yourself. After she's taken you through all that affliction, then she'll be like, all right, he's about it. I'm going to comfort him with some wisdom, right? I'm going to give him something to comfort him, to direct his steps, to make life a little bit easier for him, right? So brothers got to realize that when we're going through affliction. a lot. Right? Then we can know that, then wisdom will know that you're about what you say you're about, and she will comfort you, right? Because it's not just going to be all affliction all the time, right? Lord willing, it's not just going to be that, right? It's going to be some good times, it's going to be some low times, right? That all comes with going through affliction. You can't know you're going through the good times if you haven't had the bad times, right? You can't be like, oh, and then you're going to look back and be like, damn, I've had some bad times, but look at me now. The Most High really put me through something, and I can appreciate the place where I'm at right now. You can't appreciate where you're at right now if you haven't been through an affliction to get there, right? It's not going to be sweet for you. It's not going to be enjoyable, right? Right? If you worked hard to get to where you are, then it's going to be more satisfying to see where you're at. But if you haven't done anything to get there, you're not going to appreciate where you're at. You're just going to take it for granted, right? And that's what the Most High is trying to teach us, not to take things for granted, right? So just going to get a few more precepts, and then I'm going to close out. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 20, verse 7. Some trust in chariots and some in horses, but we will remember the name of our God, right? So we will remember the name of our God. So when those things are happening to you, don't trust in other men. Don't trust in the tangible things, right? Remember the name of the Most High when you're going through affliction, and trust in Him, right? Sirach 2:10 says, has any ever trusted in the Most High? Look to the generation of old, has any trusted in the Most High and was ever confounded, right? So we will trust in the name of our God when the going gets tough, and 100% we will be delivered, right? Because none of our forefathers that trusted in the Most High was ever forsaken, right? So the Most High is the same always, right? The same throughout. He changes not. So He's not just about to start forsaking those that call on His name. So when we're going through affliction, we should remember that. Just call on the name of the Most High, and have faith that this affliction isn't for your destruction, but for your chastisement and for your learning curve, right? So when brothers going through affliction, they should take it cheerfully, because it's not for your destruction. Your affliction is for your betterment. I'm not saying, oh, just laugh it off, just I ain't going through nothing. No, realize that you are going through something, but take it cheerfully. Be of good nature, be of a good heart, knowing that the Most High isn't looking to wipe you out of existence with that affliction, but to test you, to chastise you. Because if the Most High wanted you to wipe you out, He would have been done it. It ain't nothing but less than a thought for the Most High to wipe you out. So realize that, and realize that when you're going through affliction, it's for your betterment, it's not for your destruction. And you shouldn't be so quick to forget all the good times that the Most High has given you and curse His name, but go through affliction cheerfully and learn something from it and grow from it, right? Gain some wisdom from it, right? So just gonna get one more precept. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 22, verse 5. They cried unto Thee and were delivered. They trusted in Thee and were not confounded. So when you're going through affliction and you call on the name of the Most High, it's not suddenly going to be like, psych, here, you thought I was going to save you. Nah, it's not going to be like that. And you sitting there confounded with a stupid look on you. It's not going to be like that, right? You're going to call on the name of the Most High. He's going to deliver you, and you're not going to be confounded. When you're going through affliction, call upon the name of the Most High and have faith, then He will comfort you, right? So that, I hope brothers been edified, brothers been boosted in the spirit, and brothers, things have been expounded upon them before, brothers, right? And so with that, I say shalom, death to America.